her being involved in the unionization of the Minneapolis Athletic Club was the entree into her work as an activist. She was in her 90s when I met her, and she didn't move or speak like a 90-year-old. Mm-hmm. She was more like a 60-year-old, mm-hmm. very energetic and loved to talk. And her age, it allowed me to have her character look back at her life.
And taking it from her writing, from the page to the performance, as it were, certainly we don't try to do an imitation of Nellie. But as Kim said, in her writing, she tried to capture the spirit of. So that's what we try to bring to life. Her passion, her spirit for what she did in her life. By the time that Kim met with her, she had an opportunity to reflect on her life.
Yes.
And found, and as we all do when we get older, there are those things that we look back on that we feel very passionate about.
Oh, that we could go back in time and do some things differently, say some things differently.
I would never ask that girl to join a union anyhow. She didn't deserve to join.
But I didn't say that. I thought it, but I didn't say it. You see, I was just living my life. I had no perspective on it. Come to think of it, most of us just live our lives.
I am playing older Nellie, and I am kind of the glue that holds this whole play together, or I'm the through line throughout the production. I've been listening to a couple of CDs that have her voice on there, and the voice I had affected was nothing like her real voice. In my head, I was like, oh, I'll bring this really aged woman, and we'll probably we'll drag one leg. That is so not who she was. At 90, she was so vibrant and so full of life and so passionate. So that was really interesting to hear, and I was glad to have that piece of history that I could tap into. So that's been really wonderful.
The Nellie that I'm playing roughly travels between when she leaves the farm to when she's hired back at the Minneapolis Athletic Club in her late 30s, or mid to late 30s. And we see that at the end of the day, this woman had a strong spirit. So even though there was a lot of things that took her on different paths, she stayed the course.
How was I going to invite her to a union meeting when I didn't even know where it was? See, that's what I was trying to find out. I thought she would know, because I don't mean to be telling tales outside of school, but Lucy knows most things about most people. So I guess she thought that
It doesn't matter what she thought, you're fired.
But
I said you're fired. Most places won't even hire you in the first place. Yeah, make sure she's gone within 15 minutes.
Yes, sir. Sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut and not admit to nothing.
But I didn't do it.
You just talked yourself out of a job.
This is the 30s. This is shortly after the Depression. And this is a time when there's Roosevelt as our president. Mm-hmm. The New Deal is being put in place. We're seeing the Conservation Corps being created. We're seeing Social Security Administration being created. We're seeing the National Labor Relations Board being created. So these are all monumental changes in the way that Americans are governed, as well as how they live their life. It's a monumental change in how our federal government looks at the common man. And when she is setting out on her own, it's at that time. So it's a very exciting time in our history. And when I say our history, I mean our American history. Mm-hmm. Because what happened then has made for how we live today.